Hello everyone, welcome back to the Movie Reviewers 100. I'm Scott. I do videos on Thursdays here on this collaboration channel, and this week we are doing Liam Neeson. EJ did his video on Saturday. It was a Western, Saffron Falls, I believe it was called. And Al, at the beginning of the week, which starts on Friday for us, did Love Actually, in which Liam Neeson's part of the ensemble. I really wanted to do a movie called Unknown, which he made with the director of Nonstop and Run All Night, but unfortunately I didn't get the chance to rewatch the movie, and I really wanted to do that just because I enjoy that movie. So instead I decided to see Taken 3, the third in the series of Taken movies in which Liam Neeson plays an ex-CIA badass who has a very special set of skills, blah blah blah, etc. So the third one, now I'd seen the first one, wasn't really big on it. The second one I saw parts of. The third one I saw the preview for, and I got kind of excited about it because number one, it took place in the States instead of Budapest or wherever. The second thing was Forrest Whitaker is the cop who's leading the investigation, trying to track Liam Neeson down, and Forrest Whitaker is very good. And the third reason was Liam Neeson, it was his turn this time to say good luck to the guy on the other end of the phone. In this case, it's the cop that Forrest Whitaker is playing. So I thought, hey, awesome, Liam Neeson says good luck this time. This could be fun. This could be cool. Yeah, so I saw it, and I can't say that I liked it much for a number of different reasons. First of all, well, let me get into the plot first of all. If you're not familiar with the Taken movies, and most people are, but if you're not, he is this guy who specializes in security now, and he's got a couple of friends that also specialize in security and things like that. So when his daughter is in vacation in Paris, and she gets abducted and sold to human traffickers, basically, he runs over there to Paris, to France, and basically blusters his way through a number of criminal organizations in order to find her and rescue her. And the second one, he and his ex-wife Famke Janssen and his daughter Maggie Grace, they're all in a foreign country, which I believe is Istanbul. Right, it was Istanbul, I think, not Budapest. And then he and Famke Janssen get kidnapped, and it's up to his daughter to rescue them. Or there's this scene in which she's basically throwing grenades all over the place, and he's listening to find out how close she is. Never mind the destruction the grenades are causing. I don't know a lot about Taken 2, but that's basically the premise there. So in the third one, what happens is Famke Janssen's character actually gets killed in the beginning of the movie, and it's set up to look like Liam Neeson did it. So now he's on the run from the American cops rather than organized crime. And he's a fugitive, and he's all over the TV and what have you, and so they're all trying to track him down and stop him and kill him and everything like that. Meanwhile, he's trying to prove his innocence and find out who it was that set him up and who killed his ex-wife and everything like that, while also protecting his daughter. Again, got to protect the daughter. So one thing I will say about the movie, in addition to Forrest Whitaker, Maggie Grace is actually pretty decent in the movie. It's a movie that really has only very functional dialogue that simply moves the plot along. Oh, I'm in trouble. Oh, we need to do this now. Here's the reasons why, blah, blah, blah. And it's all just no one really sits down and has a conversation about anything abstract or joke or anything like that. It's all just very, very basic by the numbers, and it's even less than by the numbers really dialogue. There's not a lot of wit here. So that's unfortunate. So it really needs good actors to help sell things. And probably my favorite scene in the movie is the one where Forrest Whitaker and Maggie Grace sit down together, because they're the two best people in the movie, it still is pretty underwhelming just because they don't have a lot to work with. Forrest Whitaker, actually, his character has this thing where he is always playing with these rubber bands tied around his wrist. Just seemed like a character quirk, but there's actually a really good reason for it that pays off in the end. Leave it to Forrest Whitaker to find something interesting as far character-wise to bring to a movie that's just doesn't put a whole lot of thought into character. So that's good. But we've got bad dialogue, basically, or simply wrote boring dialogue. And we've got a total lack of bloodshed, despite the fact that people get killed left and right, shot up all over the place. Famke Janssen gets her throat cut, there's no blood. A guy puts a gun in his mouth and pulls the trigger, there's no blood. It should be all over the floor, but there's no blood. One guy who isn't wearing a shirt, he's bare-chested, he gets shot 3 times, there's no blood. There was this study that was done a couple of years ago about how PG-13 movies have way more gun violence in them now than R-rated movies. But gun violence is more abstract than, say, people getting their head chopped off or stabbed or anything like that, or crushed. So it's just like boom, 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 shoot a guy and he falls down, and that's kind of it. Now, the Jason Bourne movies disguise the wounds by having characters wear very dark colors, black mostly. So whenever somebody gets shot, they fall over, and maybe you wouldn't be able to see blood if it was there because they're wearing dark clothing, but that's not the case with this movie. And it's also not the case with movies like Salt and White House Down. People get shot up like crazy in these movies, and yet no blood. Why? Because they want a PG-13 rating. It's really stupid. This movie should have been rated R. The other thing that's bad about this movie is the editing. During the action scenes and the fight scenes and chase scenes, the cutting is so rapid, it's like there's a shot every half second or quarter second. And there's no reason for it. It's just like constantly shifting positions and subjects and perspectives and what have you for no reason whatsoever. There's no sustained shots in this movie, and plus the camera zooming in and out even when it is holding for a while. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And then there's the fact that Liam Neeson causes all kinds of destruction just in staying away from the cops. He's trying to prove his innocence, and yet he ends up causing more deaths for real. I don't know how many people actually get killed because they don't show up, but there's this one scene where he's basically commandeers a cop car, and then he's driving the wrong way down the street, and there's a truck that jackknifes, and the trailer flips end over end and crushes some cars, and you think people got hurt, people got killed, whatever, and he never really, faces the consequences of that. Yeah, it's just not a lot of thought went into it. The movie is directed by a guy named Olivier Megaton, who did, let's see now, he did the second Taken movie, and he did Transporter 3. I wrote this down here. Oh, and he did Colombiana with Zoe Saldana, which, as I recall, was a fairly decent movie, but yeah, his style is just not agreeable. And the whole movie is just sort of like, just very by the numbers, and there's an excess of it's not the shaky cam that's the problem, it's the cutting. It's too rapid. So yeah, Taken 3. Oh, and by the way, the big moment where he says good luck to Forrest Whitaker, I think they shot a separate version of that for the trailer because it's this big dramatic close-up on him, and he says good luck, and I'm like, yeah, but in this movie it's like totally downplayed. It's so underplayed. I almost missed it. I'm like, oh wait, he said good luck there. I almost missed it. I can't believe that they wasted that opportunity. So yeah, not a fan of Taken 3. Don't recommend it. Sorry. But there is a really great Liam Neeson movie. If you haven't seen it, you ought to check out Schindler's List. I know a lot of people have seen it, but maybe a few of you haven't. It was a Best Picture winner, Best Director for Steven Spielberg. It's an excellent, excellent drama about a guy named Oskar Schindler, who was a German businessman during World War II, and he saved a whole bunch of Polish Jews from the concentration camps and from certain death by forcing them to work in his factories. They didn't make any money at all, but as long as they worked for him, they were saved from the death camps, and he kept them alive. And there was about 1,100 of them at the end of the war that were still alive because of him. It's a terrific movie. And of course, Ralph Fiennes is in it as well. He plays the camp commandant, very, very evil guy, and Ben Kingsley plays Liam Neeson's accountant, the guy who basically orchestrates the business, runs the business for him. Yeah, terrific movie. I didn't fully appreciate it when it came out because I was only 20 when that movie came out, but, in the years since then, I mean, I liked it then, I liked it a lot, but now I appreciate it even more. And it's definitely a must-watch. If you haven't seen that movie, it's great. And Liam Neeson, he's terrific in it. He's the main character. He's very, very good in this movie, whereas in a movie like Taken 3, he's just basically going through the motions. So skip Taken 3, see Schindler's List instead, or if you want to see something a little bit more lighthearted, I would say check out Unknown, because that's one of the better action movies he's been in. I would like to review that one, but I really don't remember all the details. I remember it being fun and funny, funny, which is something that Taken 3 is not. So, yeah. See Unknown, see Schindler's List, skip Taken 3. That's my video. Our next theme is Leonardo DiCaprio, and that'll be starting when Al makes his video, so I hope you'll tune in for that. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and check out our Facebook page. You'll find the link to that in the description below. Thanks for watching. See you again real soon. Bye-bye.